Welcome back to Coin Lover and Treasure Hunter. Today, we are exploring two familiar little coins that often slip quietly through collections: the British Sixpence from 1963 and 1964. They may look ordinary, but depending on condition and certain small details, some of these pieces can still fetch strong collector interest. Let's take a closer look at what gives them their charm, how to spot potential value, and whether your sixpence might be worth more than you expect. Let's get started. The sixpence, often just called a sixpence, was a British coin in pre-decimal currency. It was worth 1/40th of a £6 pence or 6d, and after decimalisation, its face value was equivalent to 2.5 new pence or 0.025 pounds. The coin had a diameter of about 1941 millimeters and was made of cupro-nickel, not silver, during the post-1947 era, including 1963. By 1963, the coin bore the portrait of the reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth, based on the design features common to that era. Although the sixpence had been minted for centuries, since the 1500s, by this time it was no longer precious metal silver, but copper-nickel, making it an everyday circulation coins. You might wonder, if it's not silver, why bother collecting one? The answer lies in history, nostalgia, and completeness. For collectors of British coinage or pre-decimal currency, obtaining specimens from each year, including later cupro-nickel issues, helps complete a full set. Moreover, a well-preserved, uncirculated 1963 sixpence can showcase strong cartwheel luster and crisp detail, which appeals to numismatists. Some coin dealers even highlight that high-grade cupro-nickel coins are becoming harder to find in uncirculated condition. So how much is a 1963 sixpence worth today? Listings of 1963 sixpences, uncertified, ungraded, likely circulated on sales platforms, often show modest prices, a few US. For example, some examples are listed in the US market around $4.5 or slightly more, though this often reflects circulated condition or unknown quality. A coin in genuinely uncirculated condition, with original mint state luster, know where minimal handling marks is where value and interest rises. There are specialized coin dealers who have offered 1963 sixpences graded choice UNC NBU with descriptions such as bright and vibrant with plenty of cartwheel luster. However, such coins are scarce. Many of the common market listings are ungraded or have signs of circulation, which reduces their value even if they look nice. This scarcity in high grade is what gives real uncirculated coins their collectible appeal. Several factors influence how much a 1963 sixpence fetches or could fetch on the collector market. Physical condition: uncirculated vs circulated, presence of wear, scratches, toning, etc. Luster and original mint finish: uncirculated coins often retain cartwheel shrine. Demand among collectors for late era pre-decimal coins as older silver coins get more attention. High-grade cupro-nickel coins may gain interest. Some dealers believe that over time these later date sixpences will become as prized as older silver ones. Rarity of truly uncirculated examples, since millions were minted and circulated. Finding a coin that never saw pocket use is relatively uncommon, which increases its appeal. If you're buying or selling a 1963 sixpence, especially claiming uncirculated, watch out for unverified claims of uncirculated. Many listings are ungraded and may just look good in photos. Handling: marks, scratches, toning, or discoloration. These reduce value even if the coin is nice. Overpricing based on nostalgia rather than true numismatic quality, because these coins are common and average. Coins should not fetch high premiums. Lack of provenance or grading: coins certified by a reputable grading service, or at least detailed photos, are more trustworthy. Given recent sale listings, a 1963 sixpence in average or uncertain condition might trade around $3.6 or a few British pounds. If you happen to find a genuinely uncirculated high-grade specimen with strong luster, and if a collector or dealer recognizes that grade, the value could be higher. However, based on current publicly available data, It appears unlikely for such a coin to reach very high values, e.g. tens or hundreds of dollars, unless some exceptionally rare condition or provenance is demonstrated. The 1963 sixpence without mint mark is a standard issue. Coin from that year there is no widely documented special rarity, e.g. mint error low, mintage or rare mint mark associated with 1963 sixpences that are commonly known in major coin catalogue references because of that their value tends to reflect supply or demand and condition rather than rarity. Thus the collectible value rests mostly on condition, uncirculated vs circulated, and how well the coin has been preserved over time. If you own a 1963 British sixpence with no mint mark, and especially if it's in uncirculated condition, it's a small but interesting piece of pre-decimal British coinage. For a casual collector, it's worth holding onto as part of a broader historical collection. For a more serious collector, you may want to get it graded by a reputable service or at least have high resolution photos to maximize its value. Selling it as is may fetch only a few dollars, but if it truly is an uncirculated specimen with good eye appeal, you could aim for a higher price or try reaching numismatic specialist buyers as time passes and fewer such coins remain in pristine condition. Demand may go up, which could make it more desirable among collectors. Next up, the sixpence coin has a long pedigree in British monetary history. The coin type was first introduced way back in 1551, during the reign of Edward VI. Over the centuries, it survived many changes, political, dynastic, and monetary. By the time of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, from 1952 onward, the sixpence had become a small but standard part of everyday currency until decimalization eventually phased out coins like this in 1971. So what is the 1964 sixpence exactly? This coin was struck in cupro-nickel alloy rather than silver reflecting post. World War II changes in coinage metal. It has a weight of about 283 grams and a diameter around 1930 millimeters. On the obverse, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, the first portrait design, and on the reverse the traditional floral emblems, the Tudor rose, leek, thistle and shamrock, representing the constituent nations of the UK. Interestingly, 1964 was not a rare production year. According to records, around 152.336000 sixpence coins were minted that year. That very high mintage means that strictly from a number standpoint, the 1964 sixpence is very common compared with older or lower mintage coins. When people refer to a 1964 sixpence without mint mark, it typically means it was struck at the main mint dot with no special mint mark, letter dot, and circulated into general use. But if the coin survived all these decades without wear, retaining sharp detail, original luster, no scratches or dings, then it can be classified as uncirculated. UNC for collectors, provenance matters. An uncirculated specimen carries far more value than a worn circulated one. Okay, so how much is a 1964 sixpence worth today? As a circulated coin from 1964, its face value in modern decimal currency is essentially negligible. Pre-decimal 6d 1/40th of a pound. But for collectors, condition matters more than face value. According to a coin value guide, 1964 sixpences in average condition typically retail around £0.05 up to about £0.90. Even though the mintage was huge, a perfectly preserved uncirculated 1964 sixpence can still attract extra value. High-grade coins, especially those with original cartwheel luster, bright surfaces and no wear, are more desirable to numismatists. As one specialized coin dealer described, some 1964 sixpences have been submitted as choice uncirculated, near brilliant, uncirculated with outstanding eye appeal, that said compared with rarer or older coins this year remains very common, and demand tends to remain modest, so values remain modest too. For example, there are online listings, e.g. on auction sites, where 1964 sixpence coins are listed occasionally in better than average grade 4. Modest amounts I found A. Listing where in 1964. Sixpence not explicitly. Graded went for about US $23.75, though condition and shipping were unspecified. At the same time, price guides still offer typical retail values well under £1 for ordinary coins. This shows there is a wide spread depending on condition and collector interest. It's tempting to dream of big returns, but realistically, because of the high mintage 152 million plus the 1964 sixpence is not rare, its collector value is driven almost entirely by condition unless your coin is truly uncirculated with excellent luster and no flaws. It probably won't fetch anywhere near a premium price, and even nice coins tend to sell for modest collectors' prices, not the kind of money that old silver coins command. So should you hold onto your 1964 sixpence? I'd say yes if it's in great condition. It's a nice piece of UK numismatic history. It tells a story of a shifting post-war monetary system of pre-decimal Britain, of changing coinage materials. Even if it never becomes rare for history lovers and coin collectors, it remains a meaningful, tangible link to a bygone era, and modest though its market value may be, sometimes coins like this surprise, especially if preserved well or if demand rises among collectors of pre-decimal British coins. So whether you keep it as a keepsake or sell it as part of a collection, that little 1964 sixpence carries more than just 6 old pennies. It carries heritage. Thanks for watching.